The ancient Anunnaki and mankind's forbidden history, mankind's lost history and mysterious past that's not being talked about in modern history. This is Embedded Reality. There are some things related to mankind's lost history and our mysterious amnesic past that's not being talked about now. The story behind the Anunnaki, those who Anu sent from heaven to earth, is far more mysterious than anyone is willing to accept. In recent years, mostly because of the ancient astronaut theory, which proposes that Earth has been visited by advanced alien civilizations from thousands of years, the truth behind Anunnaki has gained a lot of importance among millions of readers and viewers around the globe. And while many remain skeptical about the existence of the Anunnaki, their influence in the human development and the reasons why they came to Earth, millions of people around the globe firmly believe that the Anunnaki are the missing link in human history, development, and abrupt evolution. During an excavation of the biblical city of Nineveh, a team led by Austrian Henry Layard discovered the ruins of the ancient Assyrian library of Ashurbanipal. One of the most important discoveries made during that excavation were the series of cuneiform tablets called the Enuma Elish, or better known as the 7 Tablets of Creation. The 7 Tablets of Creation tell the story about a group of gods called the Anunnaki, who came from the heaven to create the human race. Information about the Anunnaki is extremely limited, and most of the history surrounding their existence are filled with controversy. Today, when we read or seek information about the Sumer and the Anunnaki, or the people that inhabited that part of the world, we come across controversial author Zecharia Sitchin. In 1976, author Zecharia Sitchin published his personal translations of the Sumerian texts in a series of books called The Earth Chronicles. And according to him, to Zecharia Sitchin, the clay tablets describe an alien race known as the Anunnaki, and they were entities, beings who came to Earth to mine gold. Sitchin practically suggests that extraterrestrial visited Earth in the past because their home planet needed gold to survive. In 1976, the late Zecharia Sitchin raised a controversy with the publication of his book, The 12th Planet. In this and subsequent books, Sitchin presented his translations of ancient Sumerian texts, which tell an incredible story regarding the origins of mankind on Earth, stories that are completely different to those that most of us learn in school. The New York Times even talked about Nibiru in 1982. Something out there, beyond the farthest reaches of the known solar system, seems to be tugging at Uranus and Neptune. Some gravitational force keeps perturbing the 2 giant planets, causing irregularities in their orbits. The force suggests a presence far away and unseen, a large object that may be the long-sought Planet X. The last time a serious search of the skies was made, it led to the discovery of in 1930 of Pluto, the 9th planet. This year, astronomers detected the long-lost planet of our solar system. They called it the Planet 9. The enigmatic Planet X orbits our Sun at such a distance that it needs between 10 to 20,000 years to complete a single orbit around it. The authors of the study, Michael Brown and Konstantin Batygin, suggest that the smaller bodies located on the edges of the solar system appear to be influenced by gravity of the hidden planet, a massive perturber, they said. Now, deciphering history piece by piece. Today, the Anunnaki are considered by many people around the globe as the founding fathers of civilization, mankind. Some archaeologists even suggest that the Anunnaki have a very important history in South America and the pre-Inca and Inca civilization. Remember the Fuente Magna Bowl? Modern-day archaeologists does not agree that these theories, even though there is plenty of evidence. They don't agree with these theories. It seems that everywhere we look on our planet, we find pieces of history that point towards a far more enigmatic past than what mainstream scholars are willing to accept. This is mainly because we're living in a limited information environment. Not all the details regarding ancient mankind's past are documented and presented to society. There are some gaps in our history that cannot be explained by mainstream scholars. But according to the ancient astronaut theory, these enigmatic gaps in mankind's ancient history can be perfectly explained and rationally approached by mainstream scholars who continue presenting us with a linear, one-way street when it comes to mankind's history. This is why we don't hear about the Anunnaki and their importance in human development in modern-day society, as we are being blindfolded by many mainstream researchers who continue with their closed-mind approach while trying to understand the enigmatic past of our ancestors and their incredible achievements. The Anunnaki timeline coming to Earth, according to Sitchin, 450,000 BC. After long wars, the atmosphere of Nibiru began to deteriorate and become a hostile place for life. The Anunnaki needed gold to repair their atmosphere, and according to researchers, we can use gold nanoparticles to repair our damaged ozone layer. 445,000 AC, the Anunnaki aliens landed on Earth and established their base in Eridu, wanted to extract gold from the Persian Gulf. They were led by Enki, son of Anu. 416 BC, gold production fell, which made Anu come to Earth. Beside him, his other son, Enlil, arrived. Anu decided that mining would take place in Africa and promoted Enlil in charge of the Terran mission. 400,000 AC, in southern Mesopotamia were 7 developed nations. Among the most important were Sipar, Nippur, and Shurupak. After the metal was refined, the ore was transported from Africa with ships and sent into orbit. 3 mysterious traits of the ancient Anunnaki. While there are numerous mysterious details surrounding the ancient Anunnaki, we take a look at 3 of their most mysterious traits here. Many archaeologists around the world consider modern-day Iraq as the cradle of civilization. Between 3,500 and 1,900 BC, the Tigris and Euphrates River were the home of the Sumerian people who prospered in the region. It's there where in the distant past, before written history, our planet was visited by astronauts from another world, intelligent beings with technology beyond our own today, the ancient Anunnaki. This is not the only place where beings from heaven that seem to be very technologically advanced landed. We also have the Tully Papyrus that tells us that at the time of the Pharaohic kingdoms, Pharaoh of Egypt witnessed the landing of their quote-unquote gods in the Giza Plateau. And he was shocked, and he was in awe, and he was actually very frightened because he viewed them as their gods and their overlords of the area. And you could imagine now, a pharaoh who thought of himself as God over the people, he was afraid of these beings that landed in Egypt, in ancient Egypt, these beings who he thought were his gods. So it's not only in the Sumerian area of the Tigris and Euphrates River that they landed, they also landed in other areas, one of them being, from what we have witnessed from the Tully Papyrus, in Egypt, in ancient Egypt. Now, this here, concerning the Sumerian area, the ancient Anunnaki here were always represented in a humanoid form, even though numerous traits indicate clear differences between the Anunnaki and ordinary humans. The facial features of the ancient Anunnaki gods were always well hidden, thanks to their large beards, and even though their facial features indicate a clear similarity with humans, there are many aspects that have led numerous researchers to suspect there is something off with the depictions of the Anunnaki gods. Is it possible that there are certain features of the Anunnaki, the ancient Anunnaki, which were excluded on purpose by the ancient Sumerians? While this remains a mystery today, there are a few traits that stand out and are worth mentioning. These traits seem to indicate clear differences between the ancient Anunnaki and mortals that inhabited the planet before written history. In 1976, author Zecharia Sitchin published his personal translation of the Sumerian text in a series of books called The Earth Chronicles, and according to Sitchin, the clay tablets described an alien race known as the Anunnaki who came to Earth to mine gold. Sitchin practically suggests that extraterrestrials visited Earth in the past because their home planet needed gold to survive. Information about the Anunnaki is extremely limited, and most of the history surrounding their existence are filled with controversy, but from a historical view, we find numerous details that tell us a lot about this mysterious Anunnaki. In ancient Babylon, the term used to describe the Anunnaki was Sir, S-I-R, which translated means dragon or big serpent. The ancient Anunnaki god Enki was believed to have belonged to the so-called Brotherhood of the Snake. The symbol associated with Enki were the two coiled snakes of the caduceus, a symbol associated with our current medical symbol, but it could hide up to 3 types of meanings in ancient times: the reptilian nature of the Anunnaki, drawing connections between them and the alleged reptilian alien race. The reptilian genetic symbol indicated similarities with the human DNA, spiritual knowledge in ancient times in different cultures of the coiled snake symbolized knowledge and spiritual wisdom. But there are many specific traits of the ancient Anunnaki that we have seen. The mysterious bag that the ancient Anunnaki depict is without a doubt one of the most mysterious traits representing the ancient Anunnaki. What is this bag that they were holding? We see many inscriptions, many carvings of ancient deities holding similar types of baskets or bags with a little handle. What was in it and what did they need it for? Now, according to the mysterious bag the ancient Anunnaki depict is without a doubt one of the most mysterious traits representing the ancient Anunnaki, and according to Sitchin and other researchers, the mysterious bag, quote unquote, is some sort of box where the ancient Anunnaki deposited the so-called water of life. Something like mobile gene banks used in their genetic experiments, not only on humans but also in animals on our planet. Another object specifically present in ancient Sumerian art is a mysterious bracelet, eerily resembling modern-day wristwatches. This has been interpreted by many scholars as simple bracelets without greater importance. However, according to many people around the globe, the enigmatic Anunnaki bracelet had a far more enigmatic meaning than modern-day researchers are willing to accept. In addition to the enigmatic bags and wristwatches, other elements are specific of ancient Anunnaki depictions. Most carvings where the Anunnaki are represented, we see the god, quote-unquote, holding some sort of pine cone with his right hand. The enigmatic pine cone holds a very important meaning according to numerous researchers. According to David Wilcock, the pine cone symbolizes the pineal gland. According to Wilcock, the Anunnaki knew how to stimulate the pineal gland in order to extract its full potential, making full use of it. So in conclusion, the 3 things that we find that the Anunnaki had in their possession, mysterious enigmatic objects, were the pine cone that we see here in this image, flashing something, the basket with a handle containing something that he had to carry. And most believe it's the water of life. And also the wristwatch that again he has on the wrist of the hand that is carrying the basket. These are the three enigmatic, mysterious objects that they always had with them. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.